So obviously, Star Awards, I really feel this is one of the core programs of the organization when we're wanting to recognize the brightest shining stars within the organization. And I've been involved with Star Awards for a long, long time, and I've met a lot of the award winners. And it's really it's a great feeling when you read their stories and when we share the stories, and then especially when we meet them in person, and then they do more sharing with us. So we do have some changes this year for those that are familiar with the Star Awards. So what we decided, we used to have a category called Hispanic and Technology Government. And so we really felt that we needed to add, give other opportunities for employees that work in the government sector to also submit. So for Executive Achievement Award, which was previously called the Corporate Achievement Award, we will now have possibly two winners, one from the government sector and one from corporate sector. Also for Managerial Excellence Award, and then of course the Stars of Today Award and Star of Tomorrow. The other new awards is Climate Sustainability Award. It used to be the Green Engineer. This has been a hit and miss for us. Some years we get a lot of nominations, other years we get none. And so we're hoping that, this is a big thing across the United States, climate sustainability. And so we're hoping that we know there's a lot of individuals doing some really good work in this space. And then Entrepreneur Award, it was previously called the Pioneer of the Year Award. And again, this is another hit and miss. And we do know that there are a lot of engineers out there that own their own companies, specifically small business. And so hoping we get some good nominations for Entrepreneur Award. This is a new award called the STEM Warrior Award, and this is for individuals that are in the military. And again, we want to be recognizing those individuals. Then we have the another new one, Academic Institution of the Year. The academic, the universities play a crucial role in the success of our organization. And so we wanted to recognize the Academic Institution of the Year. We have Government Agency of the Year and Company of the Year, but we have not recognized the universities. So we decided this was a really good opportunity for us to include them. Some name changes. So now we have Role Model Awards. And then within the Role Model Awards, we will have the three categories: professional, undergraduate, and graduate. But it's called Role Model Awards. We changed Educator Achievement Award. We kind of got away from of the year. And so that's why you see these name changes. Outstanding Chapter Advisor Award. I'm hoping that there's a lot of chapter advisors out there that are doing some really good work and we're not recognizing them. So I really hope that, we get a lot of nominations from our chapters. And then Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award, we added the Equity and Inclusion. Before it used to just call the Diversity Award. And again, capturing what's happening across the country. We did delete two awards, Promising Engineer. Promising Engineer was kind of the Star of Tomorrow. So we wanted to, again, just focus on the one. And then Hispanic and Technology Award Government. And I've explained why what we did when it comes to the government sector. There are three awards that are not open for direct nominations. The Rod Garcia Founders Award, the Jaime Oaxaca Award, and the Dr. Ellen Ochoa Award. And what will happen here is we will be selecting from all of the candidates to receive those three awards. And so we will go through the committee and a couple of board members and look through the nominations that we already have. One of the questions I get a lot is which are the more competitive awards? Star of Today and Star of Tomorrow is where we get the most nominations, usually between 30 and 40 per category. All the rest, we usually get less than 20. So in case you were wondering, which were the most competitive ones. Nicole, you did mention this is being recorded, right? So
That is correct. This is being
okay.
recorded.
We will have it afterwards. So to submit a nomination, you have to complete an online where, everything is online. Um, you get the five questions here. We ask for the biographical sketch, the nominee merit description. So what are the contributions and achievements, describing examples of how the nominee's efforts resulted. Did they do good work within the chapter or within their organization? And then some of the supplemental merit items, articles, letters of recommendation, publications, and then, of course, your picture. And if you go to the website, there's going to be more detail of each of these items of what you're submitting. So for example, for letters of recommendations for those role models, there is specific letters of recommendations that are required. In case you were wondering, 45 points is the max that you can get. And it's broken down by these criteria. So we're really looking at of all the information that was submitted. Number 5 is if you are a SHPE member, you do get those 5 points automatically. So in case you were wondering, well, who judges the categories? So the first top 5 are judged by board members and the committee. 6, 7, 8, and 9, those are by the CEO and the board chair. So they're the ones that provide the recommendations as to who's going to get it, because they're the ones that are working throughout directly with the companies, with the governments, and academia. On the Ruben and Ahosa Award, if you know of someone that out there in the community, more than likely, in the past, the Ruben and Ahosa Award has gone to elected officials, but then we also did award to the CEO of the Girl Scouts because she was doing quite a bit in the STEM area. And so if you have any thoughts or ideas, recommendations on who should be receiving that award, if you have some elected official within your respective area that is doing really good work in the STEM championship area, is a STEM champion, please bring it to our attention. Everything else is evaluated by an evaluation team. And so if you want to be part of the evaluation team, all you need to do is send an email. That'll come at the end. And we are looking for individuals to evaluate the nominations. It's a really good experience because you can kind of see what other people are who they're nominating, and it gives you a really good idea what is a great package. And then so again, these are all by the last 2, the Educator of the Year awards, which is the Advisor of the Year, or the 2 educators is done by the committee. And then the Young Investigator Award, we utilize a university professor to do the initial scoring, since we are looking for individuals that are in research. If you are an award, all award recipients will receive the following: special recognition. They'll get their picture and statement of accomplishments in our programs, the website. And then we have these leaderboards that are at the conference. And those have been a big hit because specifically with the award winners, but it really gets everybody an opportunity to see who the award winners are. They can take pictures with these big leaderboards, take them home if they want. The other thing they get to participate is in meet and greet workshops during the conference and then after the conference. These are incredible workshops. We really want to try to get more marketing for them, more attention to them, because this is when the award winners come in and talk more personal about their achievements, about their, hurdles, and just really sharing and they really open up, and it's a really good opportunity to hear more personal experience from those award winners. They will be invited, of course, along with their special guests to several events. Everybody gets 2 full conference registrations to attend all workshops, networking, socials, and meal events as our guest. They get hotel accommodations for 3 nights. It's only 1 room. And then travel is the responsibility of each recipient. Nominations are due July 15th, so we're a little over a month out. We are utilizing the same platform as in the past, Award Force. It gets a lot easier to go in there and submit. You do have to create an account. If you have one from last year, it'll still be there. If you forgot your password, you just go through the simple process. And then you want to make sure that you submit your nominations for it to be considered. It's amazing how many uncompleted nominations we have in the system. So you want to make sure that you do complete that. If you want to be a reviewer, we will have reviewer training in mid-July. We will assign your assignments on July 20th. So we give you 7 days to go in there and review the nominations and score them. And so usually you'll review between 10 and 14 nomination packages. What we want to ensure is that every nomination package was reviewed by 3 different people. Because what happens is we get those scores and we average them out and we look at the top 3. And so what we want to make sure is also that we don't have winners from the same companies. And so we like to ensure that we have a diverse pool of honorees. And so that's why we want every nomination to be reviewed at least by 3 different individuals. And that's how we get the scores. So at any time, if you have any questions about anything, or if you want to review, there is the contact starawards@ship.org. So that's the end of the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing. And then I see that we do have some questions in the chat. And so I will, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat, or please feel free to raise your hand.
Hi, Diana. We have one question that states, are nominations for the Young Investigator Awards done by 3 different university faculty?
No, they are done by 1. So it says, where can we find information about the new awards? And so the nomination process has not changed. It's still the same, but you can find more description on the award brochure. And so the award brochure is on our website. And so you can find more information there. And so did I misspell role model? Probably. So we'll make sure that we correct that. So we will make sure that we thank you for bringing that to our attention. And Anna posted in the chat where the link is for the awards brochure. So the start of today really focuses on the merits of what they're doing at work. A role model award is for those individuals that are working, because you do need to be a SHPE member for you to be a role model award. And so that focuses on the work that you're doing in your community and in your chapter. So that is the difference. Startup Today focuses on what you're doing within your company and your career. The role models are focused on what you're doing within your chapter and your community. Okay, I guess someone's answering the questions on the chat. Do we need to submit in the platform with documents in PDF format, or does that matter? I think you can upload Word documents as well. So whether it's PDF or Word, you can submit either one.
You can also, JPEGs are acceptable as well for the pictures that you need to submit.
Okay, what are some of the material that makes a nomination stand out? Obviously, the merit description is where a lot is highlighted about that individual and how they meet that criteria. And then also some of the letters of recommendation are other materials that stand out. If individuals have patents, any articles that were written about the individuals, we would like for you to submit. But the big key one focus is under the nominee merit, because that really talks about what they are doing within their chapter or within their organization.
If anyone has any questions and they would like, instead of typing them, to ask Diana directly, please just raise your hand and I will go ahead and call on you. So Diana, you have one person, Antonia Robles, who has their hand up.
It's actually
Hi,
Antonina.
Antonina, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Diana. I have a couple of questions. So the time frame is is it from July 1st to June 30th? That the activities need to happen. I'm especially thinking of the ERG.
Yes.
Second question in regards to ERG is when I work for HP. So one of the things is we have a couple of ERGs, and SHPE is a subcommittee of the. It's not necessarily an ERG, but we do have like a Hispanic ERG. So we are submitting, so we have very active ERG. But when it asks the question about the structure and distribution list, do we only include the one from the main ERG, or do we include both?
I would include the main ERG.
Okay.
Just so we're being, fair across the board.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions? Okay.
Okay, Edward Dunlap now has questions.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I was like, I don't mind asking a question. Now, I was hoping that you could tell me a little bit more about the background around the letters of recommendation or reference letters for some of the applications. Was just curious about that, because as we're exploring some of the candidates or people we'd like to submit, just kind of the extra churn that's going to come on the side to kind of get those, and really what the thought process was behind that element.
Well, the letters of recommendations are critical specifically. So for example, some of those awards for like Startup Today, Startup Tomorrow, Manager of the Year, I mean, we want to be able to see that you have people within your company that are actually supporting you and that you are worthy of that award. So that's, the big thing around why we ask for letters of recommendation. For the role models, not that we're saying people aren't being honest, but we really want to hear how these individuals are making an impact within their chapter. And that's the same thing with any organization. We want to, hear from the leadership or the executives within those companies that yes, these individuals are worthy of that award, and yes, they are making an impact. So we do get a lot of letters of support from executives, and so that says a lot about that individual already, that you have an executive saying that yes, this person is doing really good work within their company. So that's why we ask for those letters of recommendation.
No, that makes sense. I appreciate that. I just didn't know if that we'd ever thought of maybe like a form that people could share and have people fill out, or I mean, obviously I've written letters of recommendation before for, people applying to colleges and stuff. So obviously there are certain templates. I don't know if we have any of that can be shared or utilized.
We don't necessarily have a template, but I would think, when I've done letters of recommendations, I always ask the candidate, well, what do you want me to highlight? And then, go from there. So it doesn't have to be really structured, but it's just really that, you are having somebody else recommend that you are worthy of the award.
Awesome. No, I appreciate the dialogue. Thanks.
All right, next person is Idalis.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to follow up on the question for the letters. There are some of the award nominations I noticed does not require a letter. Is it still okay to include one, or what would you recommend for those
I
situations?
would recommend that you include letters of recommendation, even though we're not saying that they're required, but I think it's a great idea that you have that.
Is there like a range of letters, or is just one is enough, or what would you recommend?
We're saying we're allowing you to have 10, additional documentation. So, one letter's fine, 2 letters fine, but it's really up to you. In some cases, we had said no more than 5, but you have up to 10 documents, additional documentation you can submit.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen?
Hi,
Chavez?
I just have a quick question. Is this a merit statement that you're requiring written by the person being nominated, or is it written by someone else?
Well, that's up to whoever you're nominating. If they want to write their own merit, more than likely they probably know more. But it's, it doesn't matter who writes it.
Okay, thank you.
See, Paul, you had, are board members or other SHPE person excluded from being selected? Well, it has been the general practice that board members do not get the awards. It's my opinion that giving awards to ourselves doesn't look good. And so we it's not a written rule, but we try very hard not to give board members the awards.
They can wait until their term is up.
Yeah. Yeah, we can share the slides. I will send them to Nicole, and it'll be right next to the recording.
Make sure the typo, Diana, it's fixed before.
I will fix the typo. The A and the E always gets me. Were there any other questions, thoughts, comments, feedback?
Can you spend maybe more, and I'm gonna go look at the brochure, but the DEI award, is that would, does it have to be a certain level?
No, it doesn't have to be a certain level, and it's just I think we can bring up Anna, you can bring up the brochure, and then we can go to that section. but it doesn't need to be a certain level. It's just we really want to highlight someone that's working on diversity, inclusion, and equity. And I know that a lot of companies now have that officer or that manager. And so we really just want to highlight those individuals.
And do all awards qualify for the last three?
Yes. Well, okay. For the Rod Garcia and the Jaime Oaxaca.
Yeah,
Okay, no. So Rod Garcia, you have to be a lifetime SHPE member to qualify for that. And for Jaime Oaxaca, you are required to be a member. And for Alan Ochoa, you do not have to be a member, but you do have to work in aerospace. So, so there is the more description for the diversity equity. Again, we're just looking for someone that works in that space. So there is no level of, you have to be a manager. You just need to demonstrate how they lead the DEI efforts in their workspace.
Does that include institutions,
Yes.
universities? Okay. And just very quickly, since I have you, letters from SHPE leaders across chapters, is that allowed?
That is allowed.
Hi,
Diana, go ahead.
thank you. Hi, this is Miriam from Bank of America. I had a couple people started filling in the application, and then under work experience, like on the application itself, it says that it should include the role, organization, and responsibilities. However, there is not a box or any place to put the role.
You mean what they're doing within their company? There's not an area for you to describe that?
No, it just says company, detail, date of employment, title, department, but then at top, it says include current information, which is role, organization, and responsibilities.
You would do that in the either in the biographical section or the merit description.
Got it. Okay, makes sense. Thank you so much.
Diana, did you want me to go to a different page on the brochure?
No, you could go ahead and stop sharing. Let's see. Well, yeah, Paul, I guess you have good chances if you nominate yourself for something. Anybody else have any questions, thoughts? We have another 30 minutes here. And
Diana, I'm not sure if you answered this one, but is there any recommendations you can give for how a candidate would stand out?
yeah, I thought I had answered that. It's really under the nominee description, because those are that's really the story where you're telling the story. And I think that is critical, that you do have a really good nominee description of how they're impacting within the community, and then how they're making impacts within their companies. So did they invent something great? Patents, things that they've had to overcome to get to that point within their careers. Are there anything, big things that they had to overcome? So those are the kinds of things that make nominations stand out.
Awesome,
Stephen,
thank
you had another question?
Yeah, how long is the typical nomination letter, I guess?
A letter of recommendation, one
Or no,
page.
just like the merit statement. Yeah.
You can up to 2 pages.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter who submits. Well, I will state that we do have companies. All the nominations come from an executive, which says a lot about the nominations they're submitting. So, I mean, that is something for you to think about within your companies. You know, getting an executive to submit all the the executive doesn't go in there and do it, but it's coming from that executive. So that says a lot already about the nominations. You can nominate yourself, and you can do self nominations, but where we've seen some of the more powerful nominations have come from when you have an executive submitting it. Any
This is
other?
Aubrey. I just have a quick question. Oh, sorry if I don't.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So you mentioned that it's a stronger nomination to have the executive submit. You mean them being the nominator, correct?
Yes,
Not necessarily okay.
That's
Okay.
correct.
All
Yeah,
right,
we
thank
don't
you.
make them, we don't make them log in. Somebody else does it for them.
Yeah,
But
that's yeah.
it has their name attached to it. If you
Okay,
nominate
thank you.
someone, yeah, you are able to participate in the process, but you will not be reviewing your nomination package. And then we will, because we have so many. Nice to meet you. Because we have so many candidates being nominated, you know, more than likely, or categories. So if you want to review and you've been nominated. Other questions we get, yes, you can resubmit the same nomination from last year, but you know, hopefully it's updated with the latest and greatest information.
Yeah, latest and greatest for July 1st to June 30th, right?
Yes. Any other questions, comments? I thought I saw we had an award winner. Let me see. Maida, is that you? Award winner?
Yes. Hi, Diana. How's it going?
Good. You want to explain how we treated you like a queen that you are and how honored you were to win the award?
Yeah, it was a really awesome experience, actually. I know Diana's joking when she says they treated me like a queen, but they really did. You feel very, very VIP. Like I literally walked in. You don't have to stand in line at the registration. They have all of your items waiting for you, and then you get access to a lot of really cool events. So I know personally, just from past experience, the SHPE events get sold out, and I was able to go to a ton of those. You do get to talk to other ship attendees, and it's really cool just to share your story. I was able to be part of a virtual meet and greet, which was really fun. And yeah, you're able to bring a guest and you get a registration, you get a hotel room. It's a really awesome experience. And then when you go, they do give you the opportunity to rehearse your speech, which is really great because I'm sure many of us have probably not had an opportunity to be in front of like thousands of people to give an acceptance speech. And it's just a very emotional and rewarding experience. And Diana is really awesome in helping you and just calming you down and just being there every step of the way. So huge, huge props to Diana and the ship team. But it's really awesome. I highly encourage everybody to, if you know of somebody who deserves recognition, definitely do the work to fill out the nomination package. It does take time, but it's definitely worth it. I'm going to be nominating someone this year, and I really hope they win. But even if they don't win this year, I'm definitely going to keep trying, and I'm going to keep an eye out on people who I think deserve to be recognized. And I definitely think everybody needs to do that. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll put my email in the chat. I work with my team at Honeywell to nominate different people. We've been doing it for quite a few years, but Diana is always available if you have any questions. But it's definitely a very VIP experience. It feels like the Oscars when you accept.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayra, for that. And so again, you know, it's we wish we could recognize everyone. Obviously, we can't, but you know, please submit the nominations. I will tell you, one of the most disheartening things for me as I've done this over the years is we have thousands of students and we have some really good role model students who are doing really good within their chapters. And we get less than 10 nominations. That is so disheartening to see that you know, we don't feel, or our members don't feel that they work alongside a good role model. Same thing on the professional side. I would expect to have more than, you know, 40 nominations. We get less than 15 every year for the professional side. And the undergraduate, we get less than 5. I don't understand that. Maybe because the students, the chapter, well, the students aren't in school anymore, but, and the other thing I want to mention is we are going to be working to give scholarships to the two role models on the students and on the for the undergraduate and the graduate. So we are looking at that, but I do want to state that it's really disheartening to see such little a number of nominations for our role model awards. Yeah, I mean, but you'll never know if you don't try. That's the key thing. So, I mean, specifically if you are a student and you don't even have a way to get to the conference, this is a perfect way for you to get to the conference and take a friend with you, because you get to bring a special guest. So just want to put that out there. Well, we would like at least, you know, 30 plus for the role models in each category. I know there's a lot of members doing some really good things out there. Because for the start of today, because what we're trying to do with these awards is we want, you know, wherever you're at in your career, you're able to be nominated for something. So Star of Tomorrow is for those that have just entered into the workforce, but they already have done some really good things. Star of Today is you've been working for a while and you are doing good within your company. And then after that, you know, we're looking at whether, you know, you're a manager or an executive. So it's after, you know, those 15 plus years. So wherever you are in your career, you can be nominated for something. So I know there's been a lot of questions about Star of Today. Why cap it at 15 years? And the reason is, again, you can nominate yourself for manager or executive. And that's kind of what we're looking at, is wherever you're at in your career, you'd be able to get nominated for something. Yeah, that's a great recommendation, Antonina. So for the professionals on, you know, on the call, if you are closely working with a student chapter, you know, maybe you can look at recognizing the students, one of the students. And I've gone to visit a lot of chapters, and there's a lot of students doing a lot of good work. And so Antonina, you only have one university there you have to worry about, Boise. So
I think too, I think when we do send this video out, hopefully encourage like chapter advisors to spread the word. I know I don't think I see any chapter advisors on here. I think I see a lot of companies on here, but it would be great to be able to see if we can encourage, maybe incorporate that language into the follow-up of the video being shared out.
Okay, we got about another 10 minutes. Any more questions?
Do you maybe clarify that you don't have to be an executive? Because I see something, a comment in
Yeah.
there.
So it used to be, thank you, Mark, for the feedback. And so I know that is something that most definitely we will be looking at for next year. But it used to be called corporate achievement. We changed it to executive, but you should nominate yourself either for manager or for executive if you have more than those 15 years. So don't be afraid. You should go ahead and do that. So we received the for the Dr. Ellen, we do not accept nominations. This is the first year. Again, every year we're trying to improve the Star Awards. And so this year is the first year we're not allowing nomination packages for Dr. Ellen. And again, because we do receive a lot of nominations, and what we're going to be going through those nominations and seeing if someone stands out for the Dr. Ellen Ochoa Award. Specifically, if you are a female working in aerospace, I would suggest you submit for Star of Today, or even Star of Tomorrow or Executive, and really highlight the work that you're doing in the aerospace industry. And also mention that Dr. Ellen was your role model or something. And if it doesn't, again, that's something that we'll continue to evaluate. And if we aren't able to pick from that, we'll go back to allowing people to nominate themselves for it. But I know we do receive lots of nominations for females working in the aerospace industry.
All right, I don't see any more questions, Diana. I think you're good.
Okay, well, I do appreciate everybody joining us. Hopefully you found this very helpful. And again, just want to remind everybody, July 15 is the date. And also, if you want to be part of the reviewing team, please send us an email, and we will do training as well for that. But other than that, if there is no more questions, I appreciate everyone being here. And do you have a limit in the number of nominees? No, we do not have a limit. So you can nominate as many people as you want. All right, any last minute questions? Yeah, Nora, you can just email to the Star Awards at ship.org requesting that we do these special presentations for companies. So I've done already like 5 of them. And if you want a bigger team to hear the presentation, we can do that as well. So just send me a note on starawards at ship.org. You do not need to be a member of Ship to Review. Okay. Any last minute questions? All right. Well, again, thank you. Hopefully you found this helpful. Hopefully this will allow you to feel comfortable in submitting. And so, I said I was going to introduce, so Valerie Valenzuela is also on the committee. She was late to come to the session here. And then Juliana, I know Juliana is on as well. Juliana, please say hi.
Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry for being late, but thanks for calling me out.
Just sharing the love, Valerie, sharing the love. Okay. All right.
All right, well, thank you everyone for
everyone.
joining us.
Thank
As a
you.
reminder, we will be posting this recording and the slides. We hope to have them up there by Monday. the 12th, so you'll be able to access them from the website. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your day, and thank you again for joining us. Take care, everyone.